A student asked for a particular question in regards to number 7 on the trigonometric graphs. And so I'm just going to go through this one really quickly. This is my number 7. And remember that your particular problems might not line up. Your period might be a little different. Your amplitude might be a little different. But I'm hoping that, generally speaking, you will be able to understand what's happening here. So for number 7, it says to find the period of the sine curve, then write the equation of the sine function. I'd like to remind you that the period is the length it takes to complete one cycle. So for a sine function, it would be a hill and a valley. So starting at the origin, we go up and then back down one complete hill and valley. That length is pi. So the period of this function is pi. That is very different from the b value. Okay, so let's answer this question and then we'll talk about the b value. So remember, when we're writing an equation, we've got the first number in front of sine, or multiplied by sine, is our a value that represents our amplitude. All of the amplitudes are the same as far as the numeric value. They're all 3. And we can see that the height, or the distance from the midline to the top or the bottom, is 3 units. So I have a maximum at 3 or a minimum at -3. So my a value is 3. We are starting, or this function, starts at the origin and goes up and then down. So we go up and then back down. So that means it is a positive sine function. It would be a negative sine function if we went down and then up. Okay, that would be negative going down first. With the b value, we had an equation, period equals 2 pi over b. Period equals 2 pi over b. So my period is the length that it takes to complete one cycle. For this particular problem, my period was pi. It took pi units to complete one hill and valley rotation. So pi equals 2 pi over b. We'll plug that value in. We'll substitute the period in so that we can solve for b. Now we want to multiply both sides by b to get it out of the denominator. So we've got pi b equals 2 pi. And then, of course, we'll divide by pi to get b by itself. So when we divided everything by pi, we're actually left with b equals 2. So my b value, what's next to the theta, needs to be 2. Now, if you notice in this answer choices, looking at the fact that my function is positive automatically eliminates A and C. Now, we had just mentioned that the period is pi. Do not let that confuse you. The period is not the b value. Okay? Your period and your b value are 2 different things. So we need a b value of 2, not pi.